Hello, everyone. My name is Michelle. Welcome back to my classroom. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. In this video, I'm going to share with you my 5 worst moments as an online ESL teacher. I'm going to start with number 5 and end with number 1, being the absolute worst moment of all. So if you're interested in hearing what my 5 worst moments are, then let's get into this video. The 5th worst moment I've had as an online ESL teacher was at the very start of my journey. I started to watch a number of videos here on YouTube just to get an idea of what a demo lesson was, how a demo lesson was performed, and all the other things I needed to know to prepare to be an online ESL teacher. So after watching a number of videos, I gained the confidence to apply to several companies. So after I applied to several companies and I was rejected by 3 companies in the same month, I began to think that maybe this was not for me. I was rejected by Landy, Data ABC, and Say ABC, and all the same. The 4th worst moment I've had as an online ESL teacher was when I received a teacher no-show while I was actually inside of my classroom. So whenever I have back-to-back lessons, I like to log out of one class and log directly into my next class, close my camera and my microphone, and wait until the start of class. So this particular day, I thought I did the same thing. I logged out of one class and I thought I logged into my next class. So I started to respond to an email that I knew I needed to respond to before 9 o'clock. So I got a little too involved into my email. I looked at my clock and realized I was 2 minutes past the start of class. So I went to go into my classroom and realized I hadn't logged into the class at all. So this was a month when I taught over 200 plus students. So I was looking forward to receive that incentive at the end of the month. But instead, I lost $200 as a result of that teacher no-show. The 3rd worst moment I've had as an online ESL teacher was when one of my regular students came to class very upset. This particular student was always very high energy. She was always very well prepared for her lessons. She always did very well with the material, and she always offered me a lot of conversation and engagement. But this particular day, she was visibly very upset. She was crying hysterically. I couldn't get her to respond to any of my questions when I asked her, are you okay? Did you want to get some tissue? Do you want to take a break? Do you want some water? She wouldn't respond to anything I was saying, but she was reading the material and attempting to finish and complete her lesson. I could see that she was very visibly upset. She was crying hysterically, and it also made me emotional as well because I felt so helpless and I didn't know how to comfort my student. So that was a very hard day for me. The 2nd worst moment I've had as an online ESL teacher was when I had 3 of my students behave inappropriately during their lessons. I had one student, he was maybe 10 or 11 years old. During the lesson, he would lay back on his bed and put his hands in the front of his pants. Because I wasn't sure what was about to happen next, I simply closed his camera and taught his lesson with his camera closed. I had another student who was much younger. He was 5 years old. During the lesson, he stood up on his chair, turned his butt to the camera, bent over and said, do you like this? I had another student just before the start of class. My camera was closed, my microphone was off, but I could still see my student. So she was starting to remove her shirt. So I closed her camera. I wasn't sure what was about to happen next. So I closed her camera and I opened my microphone to let her know I can see you. And I just taught the remainder of her lesson with her camera closed. So those were very uncomfortable and awkward times for me. The number 1 worst moment I've had as an online ESL teacher was when one of my students told me to go to hell. So those are the 5 worst moments I've had as an online ESL teacher. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next video. Teach happy, happy teaching.